हाय, वेलकम टू यूट्यूब अकेडमीज यूट्यूब चैनल। आज के वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं कि अगर आप क्लैट पीजी 2024 के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो आपको किन 5 बातों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए बिफोर यू इवन स्टार्ट विद योर प्रिपरेशन। सो वी विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट स्ट्रैटेजी एंड टिप्स on how to approach CLAT PG 2024 exam if you are writing it for LLM purposes or if you want to appear in PSUs. But before we start, we do have courses on CLAT PG. We have foundation and growth hack batches. So you can get to know the details about these courses either from our website or you can call on the number given on your screen. Now coming to the first very important thing that you should keep in mind while preparing for CLAT PG is going through the previous year papers. Now this is very important because CLAT has very recently changed its pattern. So up until 2019, there was a different pattern. And from 2020 onwards, they have introduced a comprehension-based paper, and they also now test your understanding of recent events and recent judgments, etc. So it's very important that you first familiarize yourself with the pattern of the previous year papers, especially papers from 2020 to 2023, to understand what you are up against so that you can come up with a strategy which suits the needs of the exam. Because other LLM entrance exams and CLAT PG have a very, very different approach. So you need to be very clear on what is exactly asked in the exam. So before even starting with your preparation, make sure that you go through the previous year papers. Now, coming to the second thing that you should keep in mind is chalking out a realistic timeline for yourself. So your situation may be different and you may be approaching CLAT for different purposes. So you should have a clear understanding of the timeline that you will be requiring considering your schedule. And it should be based on your strength and weaknesses. So if there are, let's say, 13, 14 subjects which are being asked in CLAT, then you need to first analyze what are the areas that you are already good at, what are the areas that are more frequently tested, and then you also have to see what are your weaknesses and where you have to put your maximum time to get the maximum output. Then you should also chalk out a realistic timeline considering your schedule. So for example, if you are in your final year of LLB, then you would need to have a timeline which suits your academic schedule as well, because you will be having exams, projects, internships, assignments, etc. So taking all of that into account, you need to come up with a weekly schedule for yourself, a timeline. And if you are a working professional, then also you'll need to understand what will be your busy areas, how you can allocate more time on the weekends. So depending on all of that, do chalk out a realistic timeline even before beginning with your preparation. Now coming to the third tip, finalize your sources of preparation. It is very important that you do not experiment with the sources that you're going to refer to. And it is also important to understand that you should not refer to more than one good source for preparing for CLAT PG examinations. You can also check out our previous videos where we have talked about what are the sources that you can refer to. But my suggestion will be that do not experiment. Pick up a one good source and stick to it. So it could be a good LLM guide, or it could be the notes of a coaching, or it could be one good, just commentaries that you may refer to for one particular subject. So whatever it may be, based on how good you are in that subject and how important that subject is, do finalize what are the sources that you're going to refer for this exam. Next, have a clear motive of why you want to take this exam, because CLAT PG serves multiple purposes. You can take this exam if you want to do LLM from any of the NLUs in India, or you may also appear for this exam if your sole intention is to get through a PSU, or if you want to appear for the JAC exam. So depending on what you want, understand the needs of that particular goal and then make your preparation strategy. Because if you want to do LLM, then the competition is not that much, because you will still be able to land up a decent college if you do put in some efforts in the exam. But if your motive is a PSU or clearing JAC, then you would need to be very competitively placed as high as possible. So you would aim to get an All India rank under 10 or 15 or 20 to be on the safer side of the things. So do understand your motive and then proceed to devote that kind of time and have that kind of strategy which works for that motive. Lastly, decide if you need help or assistance. So many people are able to crack CLAT PG on their own. It is very much doable. But as I said, depending on how much time you have, how many resources you have, and what is your motive, you may also decide if you would be requiring any help or assistance from somebody in preparing for this exam. So once you have a clear understanding of what you want and why you want to appear for this exam, you will also be able to decide if it is doable on your own, or would you like to have some assistance from a coaching or from joining a mock test series, whatever works for you. So the idea is to work smart and not really hard. So with this, we've come to the end of our video. Good luck if you're preparing for this exam. If you have any queries with respect to CLAT PG, do comment below and we'll get back to you. If you like this video, please like and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.